It was a dark night. The village was silent. Only the sound of the wind and dogs barking could be heard. People were inside their homes, thinking this was just another normal night. But suddenly the sky changed. A bright, unusual light cut across the stars. It was not like the moon or any shooting star. It was something different, something powerful. The light was moving fast, burning the clouds as it passed. Villagers came out of their houses. They looked up, confused and scared. "Yekiahai," some whispered. Children held their mothers' hands tightly. The older men tried to act brave, but even they could not hide their fear. Then, a loud crash shook the earth. It was as if a giant had fallen from the sky. Dust rose into the air. The ground trembled. Everyone's heart was beating faster now. The light disappeared, but smoke was rising from the forest near the village. Some men grabbed lanterns. "We must see what has happened," one said. Others nodded, but their eyes were filled with worry. Step by step they moved toward the forest. Every sound felt louder in the silence. The wind, the breaking of branches under their feet, even their own breathing. Everything was frightening. Finally they reached the place. The trees were broken, the ground was burning hot, and in the middle of it lay something no human had seen before. A ship, small, silver, glowing faintly. It was broken, pieces scattered around. The villagers could not believe their eyes. "Is this from the sky?" someone asked. Another man said, "No, this is not from this world." Their fear grew stronger. Some wanted to run back to the village, but curiosity stopped them. They wanted to see more. Slowly, the broken door of the ship opened. Smoke escaped, and a shadow moved inside. Everyone stepped back. Women covered their mouths, children cried. Then from the ship a figure appeared. It was not human, a thin body, pale skin shining in the moonlight, big eyes that looked like dark mirrors. But there was something unusual. The creature was weak. It walked slowly, limping. One arm was not moving properly. Its legs trembled. It was clear. This alien was disabled. The villagers gasped. Some shouted, "Monster! Ye hum sabko maar dega!" Others whispered, "No, look, it is hurt." The alien tried to speak. A strange sound came from its mouth, not words humans could understand. It stretched out its hand as if asking for help. But no one moved forward. Fear froze them. The alien's eyes shone with sadness. Tears, like shining drops, rolled down its face. But still, the people did not go closer. Instead, they started to step back. "Stay away," they shouted. "This thing is dangerous." The creature looked around, hoping someone would help. But everyone rejected it. They left it standing there, alone, weak, broken. And so in the first night of its arrival, the alien learned one thing about humans. Fear is stronger than kindness. But what the villagers did not know was that one person, hidden in the shadows, was watching everything. Someone who did not run, someone who did not reject. And this person's choice would soon change everything. The night after the crash was filled with whispers. The villagers could not sleep. Some sat outside their homes, staring at the forest as if the strange creature might suddenly appear again. Others locked their doors and prayed quietly, hoping the danger would disappear by morning. Children asked, "Ami, what was that thing?" Mothers had no answer. The old men argued, "It is shaitan. It is bad luck for our village." But deep inside, no one truly knew. At dawn, a few brave men went back to the crash site. The silver ship still lay broken, its edges glowing faintly. And near it the alien sat quietly as if waiting. Its eyes scanned the humans, tired but hopeful. It raised its hand again, the same silent request for help. But the villagers stepped back. Their fear had only grown stronger overnight. One man shouted, "Don't go near it. What if it brings illness? What if it has poison in its blood?" Another added, "Look at its body. It is broken, useless." If this is a warrior from the sky, it is already defeated. If it is a beggar, we cannot help it. The alien tried to speak again. The strange musical sounds came out echoing softly through the trees. It was not angry. Its voice was gentle, almost like a child's cry. But instead of softening hearts, the sound scared people more. Ye hamari zuban nahi bolta, an old man said. It cannot be trusted. The creature took one shaky step forward. Immediately, a young boy screamed. His mother pulled him back, holding him tightly. The crowd grew louder, shouting for the alien to stop. Their fear turned into anger. Send it away. Destroy the ship. This thing should not stay here. The alien froze, its eyes widened with pain, not physical but emotional. It could feel their rejection like a knife. All it wanted was safety. All it needed was kindness. But instead, it saw only fear in every face. Slowly, the alien lowered its head. Its weak legs trembled and it collapsed to the ground. For a moment, silence covered the place. Even the birds stopped singing. Everyone just stared at the fragile being lying helpless in the dust. But still, no one helped. Some men picked up stones. Their hands shook, but their anger demanded action. If we kill it now, we will be safe, one whispered. The others nodded. Fear had turned them into something cruel. As they lifted their arms, the alien raised its broken hand again. Its big eyes begged silently, "Please don't hurt me." For a moment, one of the men hesitated. He saw not a monster, but a weak life form. Yet the pressure of the crowd pushed him. "Throw it," someone screamed. "Don't let it survive." But before the stone could be thrown, a sound came from behind the trees. It was small, almost hidden. A soft gasp, the sound of someone running. The men turned but saw nothing. They did not know. Someone was watching. Someone who could not accept this cruelty. Back at the ship, the alien tried to move again. It pushed itself up, but its legs betrayed it. It fell once more, its tears mixing with the dust of earth. The crowd slowly moved back toward the village, leaving it behind. "Lock your doors," the head villager warned. "Do not feed it. Do not touch it. This thing is cursed. If we accept it, hum sabtaba ho jayenge." The people obeyed. They closed their windows, whispered warnings to their children, and promised themselves never to go near the forest again. But not everyone agreed. Deep in the shadows, hidden between the trees, a pair of human eyes followed every moment. Those eyes did not see a monster. They saw loneliness. They saw pain. And in that pain, they saw something familiar. That secret watcher stayed quiet, waiting for the right time. Meanwhile, the alien sat alone near the broken ship. Night returned once more. The stars above seemed to mock its existence. On its home planet, it had been rejected because of its disability. Here on Earth, it was rejected because of fear. Two worlds. Same fate. The alien hugged itself, rocking, slowly, like a lost child. It looked toward the village lights shining in the distance. Its eyes begged for mercy, but it knew mercy would not come. Still, somewhere inside its heart, it held a small hope. A hope that maybe one soul, one human, would see beyond the fear, and that hope was not wrong. Because even now, the watcher from the shadows whispered to himself, "I will not let you die like this." While the whole village rejected the alien, one person could not stop thinking about it. His name was Arib. He was young, hardly 20, with restless eyes and a heart that never accepted things the way they were. Arib was different from others in the village. Since childhood, he had been curious about the sky, the stars, and the mysteries beyond. When other boys laughed at him for asking strange questions, he only smiled and looked up again. There must be something more, he always whispered to himself. That night, when everyone locked their doors and prayed the alien would vanish, Arib did not sleep. He sat near his window, staring at the dark forest where the broken ship still lay. His heart beat fast. He could still see the creature's eyes in his memory. Big. Sad. full of loneliness. Those eyes haunted him. Why did we leave it alone? He thought. It was not attacking us, it was asking for help. But the entire village had already decided. The alien was dangerous, cursed, unwanted. Arib, however, could not believe it. His curiosity was stronger than his fear. At midnight, when the village was silent, Arib quietly stepped out of his home. He carried a small lantern and a piece of bread wrapped in cloth. His hands trembled, but his decision was clear. He would go to the forest. The journey was long and eerie. Every sound made him jump. The owls hooted, branches cracked under his feet, and cold wind touched his face like invisible fingers. Yet he continued. Something inside pulled him forward, the strange feeling that his life was about to change forever. Finally, Arib reached the crash site. The silver ship still glowed faintly in the darkness like a ghost from another world. And near it the alien sat, curled up, shivering in the cold night. Its body looked weaker than before, almost lifeless. Arib stopped, his breath caught in his chest. For a moment he almost turned back. Fear whispered, "Run. This is dangerous." But then he remembered the tears he had seen in those eyes, and his feet refused to move backward. Slowly, step by step, Arib came closer. The alien lifted its head, sensing movement. Its eyes widened, ready for rejection once again. But instead of stones or angry shouts, it saw something unexpected, a young boy holding out food with shaking hands. Arib whispered softly, as if speaking to a frightened animal, "Don't be scared. I will not hurt you." The alien stared confused. No one had spoken to it gently before. Carefully, Arib placed the bread on the ground and pushed it forward. The alien looked at it, then at Arib, and after a long pause, reached out with trembling fingers. It took the bread and sniffed it, unsure. Arib smiled nervously. "It's food. Kana. Eat." For the first time, the alien's lips moved in a way that almost looked like a smile. It ate slowly, its weak body finally tasting kindness. Arib's heart filled with warmth. He sat down at a safe distance, still watching. "I don't know who you are," he whispered, "but I think you are not here to harm us. You are just lost." The alien tilted its head, as if trying to understand. Then, to Arib's surprise, it touched the ground with its finger and began to draw. Strange shapes appeared in the dust, circles, stars, and a large round object with smaller dots around it. Arib's eyes widened. "Is this your world?" he asked. The alien looked at him and nodded faintly. Arib's breath caught again. This was no monster. This was a traveler from the stars, broken and alone. That night, a bond began. It was not made of words, but of signs, gestures, and emotions. Arib pointed at himself and said, "Arib." The alien blinked and repeated a sound. Not perfect, but close. Arib laughed softly, his fear melting away. He then pointed at the alien, waiting for a name. But the creature only made a soft musical tone like a melody carried by the wind. Arib could not understand, but he smiled anyway. "I will call you Noor," he whispered, "because in your eyes, I see light." The alien, Noor, blinked slowly, as if accepting the name. Before leaving, Arib placed his hand on his chest and then stretched it forward, a sign of trust. Noor watched him, then shakily copied the gesture. For the first time, both human and alien felt something they had never felt before: connection. As Arib walked back to the village before sunrise, his heart was racing. He knew the villagers would never understand. They would call him foolish, maybe even betray him. But deep inside, Arib knew the truth. This bond was special, and somewhere, deep in the shadows of the forest, Noor watched him leave, holding on to the tiny spark of hope that had been lit tonight. The fear was still there. The danger was still real. But now, there was also something stronger: friendship. The days passed slowly after the crash. The villagers stayed away from the forest, warning each other not to step near the broken ship. To them, the alien was still a curse, a danger that should be left alone. But for Arab, the forest had become a place of secret wonder. Every night when the village slept, he carried food and water quietly in a cloth bag. He moved silently like a thief, but instead of stealing, he was giving hope to a creature the world had rejected. The alien, whom Arab now called Noor, waited for him every night. In the beginning, Noor was afraid that Arab would not return. But when he appeared again and again, always with a smile, Noor's fear began to fade. At first, their conversations were only through signs. Noor would draw shapes in the soil, point at the sky, or make soft sounds. Arab, curious as always, tried to guess. Stars? Planet? Home? Sometimes Noor nodded, sometimes shook its head. But slowly they began to understand each other. One night, Arab brought a piece of charcoal and a flat wooden board. He gave it to Noor and said, "Draw. Show me your world." Noor's thin fingers moved carefully. Strange patterns appeared, not like Earth's maps. There were rings, glowing suns, and towers that looked like mountains but were shining like crystals. Arab's eyes widened. "So beautiful," he whispered. "Your world must be full of wonders." But Noor's eyes turned sad. It placed a hand on its weak leg and shook its head slowly. Then it crossed out one of the drawings with trembling lines. Arab understood. "They rejected you. Your own people." For a moment, Noor's big eyes filled with tears. Arab felt a sharp pain in his chest. How cruel, he thought, that even in another world, weakness was treated like a curse. "Don't worry," Arab whispered softly. "You are not alone anymore." That night, something changed between them. Noor stretched out its thin arm and touched Arab's hand. Its skin was cold, but the touch carried warmth of trust. Arab did not pull back. Instead, he covered Noor's fragile hand with both of his. A bond was sealed, silent but powerful. From that day, Noor began to open its secrets. One evening, it showed Arab a small device hidden in the wreck of the ship. It was round, glowing faintly, covered in strange symbols. Noor pressed it and suddenly a hologram appeared, floating lights forming shapes in the air. Arab gasped. He saw Noor's planet, glowing blue and silver, full of strange towers and flying ships. Then the image shifted. Noor's people were pointing at it, angry faces, cruel eyes. The image flickered, showing Noor running, chased, then escaping in a broken ship. Arab's hands clenched. "They wanted to destroy you." Noor nodded weakly, pressing its hand on the chest as if saying, "Yes, they hated me." But the device showed something else too. A signal, blinking faintly in red. Noor touched it, and Arab realized it was calling, maybe to others, maybe to enemies. Noor shook its head quickly, covering the device, as if warning, "Arab, not safe, not yet." That night, Arab asked, "If they find you again, what will they do?" Noor's silence was louder than any answer. Still, Arab's courage only grew stronger. "I will protect you, no matter what happens." His voice trembled, but his eyes were steady. Noor tilted its head, studying him. Then, for the first time, it made a soft musical sound, almost like a name. Arab froze. Was Noor calling him? He smiled. "You trust me now." Noor blinked and in its own way smiled back. But while their secret bond grew, danger was rising outside. In the village, people noticed Arab's late-night walks. His uncle whispered, "He is hiding something. Maybe the alien has cursed him." Rumors spread quickly. Some men decided they must follow him one night. Arab did not know this. For him, every visit to Noor was a hidden adventure, a friendship no one else could understand. He taught Noor small words of human language: water, friend, safe. Noor repeated them slowly, its voice broken but determined. Arib laughed softly each time, encouraging it, and Noor, in return, showed him pieces of alien technology, glowing stones that produced light, a crystal that played soft sounds like music and drawings of constellations humans had never mapped. One evening, Arib looked up at the stars and whispered, "Maybe we were meant to meet. Maybe my whole life of questions was waiting for you." Noor placed its hand on his chest again, the sign of trust they had created together. But even in that moment of peace, Noor's eyes kept glancing at the sky nervously, as if expecting something. Arib noticed. "Are they coming?" he asked. Noor did not answer. It simply looked away. The secret bond was strong now, but shadows of danger were moving closer. And very soon, both Arib and Noor would learn that friendship had a price. The bond between Arib and Noor was growing stronger each night. Arib felt something he had never felt before. A connection not only to a creature, but to an entire universe of mysteries. Noor, once silent and broken, now showed signs of hope. Its eyes, once heavy with sadness, carried a faint glow whenever Arib arrived. But Noor was also restless. Many times Arib caught it staring at the sky, its dark eyes scanning the stars with fear. Whenever Arib asked, Noor would look away, refusing to answer. Arib could sense it. There was something Noor was hiding. One night Arib decided to confront it. He placed food as always, then sat close. "Noor," he said softly, "I know you trust me, but you are keeping a secret. If we are friends, please tell me the truth." Noor hesitated. Its thin fingers trembled as it touched the small round device Arib had seen before. Slowly, Noor activated it again. The hologram flickered to life, glowing in the dark forest. This time, Noor showed more. First came the image of its home planet, glowing blue and silver, towers shining like crystal mountains, skies filled with flying ships. Arib's eyes widened in wonder. "Your world, it's beautiful." But then the image changed. Noor itself appeared, smaller and weaker than others of its kind. The hologram showed tall, strong aliens, walking proud, their limbs perfect, their bodies glowing with energy. And then there was Noor, limping, slow, different. The strong ones pointed, mocking, pushing it aside. The picture showed Noor, falling, unable to defend itself. Arib's heart tightened. "They rejected you," he whispered. Noor nodded, its big eyes wet. It placed its weak hand on its chest and shook its head slowly, as if saying I was never enough. The hologram continued. A group of aliens gathered, their faces full of anger. They held strange weapons. Noor's image was tied, surrounded, humiliated. Then one moment of chaos. Noor breaking free, running toward a small ship. Fire, explosions, shouting. And finally, Noor escaping into the sky. Arib felt chills. They didn't just reject you. They wanted to kill you. Noor lowered its head. For the first time, Arib understood the depth of its pain. On its own planet, Noor was considered a mistake, a weakness, a shame. It was not just abandoned, it was hunted. But then the hologram changed again. This time Arib saw a red signal blinking. Strange alien symbols flashed around it. Noor touched the signal with fear, then covered the device quickly as if trying to hide it. Arib leaned forward. "What is that?" Noor shook its head, but Arib's eyes were sharp. "Tell me, please, you are not safe, are you?" After a long silence, Noor finally raised its trembling hand and pointed at the sky. It then made a sign of ships falling, armies coming. Arib's face turned pale. "They are searching for you." Noor nodded. Its whole body shivered. The red signal was not just a message, it was a beacon. The broken ship, even in its ruined state, was still sending a weak call into space. And sooner or later, Noor's own people would follow it. Arib's mind raced. "If they come here, they will find you. They will find us." Noor's eyes filled with tears again. It placed both hands on its head, as if ashamed. Arab could feel what it was saying without words. Because of me, your world is in danger. But Arab's heart burned with defiance. He grabbed Noor's weak hand gently. No, you are not the danger. They are. You came here because you had no choice. And if they come, we will face them together. Noor looked at him, shocked. No one had ever stood beside it before. Not on its planet, not in its life. For the first time, Noor's tears were not of pain, but of gratitude. Still, Arab knew the truth had changed everything. This was no longer a simple secret friendship. Noor's presence was now a threat to the whole village, maybe the whole world. That same night, as Arab returned home, he felt uneasy. Shadows moved behind him. Unfamiliar footsteps followed. He turned but saw no one. What he did not know was that some villagers had started watching him, suspicious of his nightly disappearances. Back in the village, whispers had already spread. Arab goes to the forest every night. He is cursed. Maybe the alien controls him. We must stop him before it is too late. The walls of secrecy were breaking. The bond Arab and Noor had built was strong, but now the entire village was turning against them. And above in the endless sky, the red signal blinked, a silent call across the stars, growing stronger with every moment. The red signal was already pulsing in the sky, invisible to human eyes, but Noor knew its meaning. Time was running out. Its own people would soon track the signal, and when they came, Earth would not be ready. Noor's weakness made it impossible to fight. It had no army, no strength. Only Arab stood beside it, a single human boy against the power of the stars. But Arab did not know the greater danger waiting right at home. In the village, whispers turned into suspicion, and suspicion turned into anger. The elders sat in the square one evening, their voices low but sharp. Arab disappears every night, one man said. His footsteps lead toward the forest, another added. He is protecting that creature, the head villager declared. If he continues, hum sab khatra mein aa jayenge. The decision was made. Arab would be followed. If he was guilty, the alien would be destroyed, and perhaps Arab too. That night, Arab carried his usual bundle of food and water, walking toward the forest. But he did not know that 3 men followed him in the shadows, their eyes cold, carrying sharp sticks and stones. When Arab reached Noor, he saw the alien weaker than before, its body trembling as it sat near the wrecked ship. Arab rushed forward. Noor, you are worse today. Are you sick? Noor shook its head faintly, pointing toward the sky. Arab understood. Fear, not illness, was breaking it. The fear of being found, the fear of losing the only bond it had ever known. Arab held Noor's hand firmly. Listen to me. You are not alone. If they come, I will protect you. Noor's large eyes blinked, filled with both gratitude and sorrow. It wanted to believe Arab, but it also knew the truth. Arab was just one boy. How could he protect against an entire race? Before Noor could respond, the bushes behind them rustled. Arab turned sharply. The 3 villagers stepped out, their faces hard with anger. So it is true, one hissed. You are feeding the beast. Have you lost your mind, Arab? Another shouted. This thing is a curse. Noor shrank back, fear returning to its eyes. Arab immediately stepped in front of it, his arms spread wide. No, you don't understand. Noor is not dangerous. It's hurt. It just needs help. But the men were not convinced. One raised his stick. Move aside, tonight we finish this. Arab's heart pounded. He could feel the weight of his choice pressing down on him. If he stood aside, the villagers would kill Noor, and his bond would end forever. If he protected Noor, he would be betraying his own people, the only family he had ever known. This was his test, the choice. Taking a deep breath, Arab shouted, No! If you want to harm Noor, you will have to harm me first. The men froze, shocked by his courage. One of them growled, Arab, ye bewakufi hai. This alien will bring destruction on all of us. Arab shook his head fiercely. Noor is not the threat. The real danger is out there. He pointed at the sky. Its people may come, and if we kill Noor, we will lose the only chance we have for peace. The men exchanged uncertain glances, but their fear was stronger than reason. "Step away!" they shouted together. Noor, trembling, tugged at Arab's arm as if saying, "Let them do it. Save yourself." But Arab refused. His eyes burned with determination. "You were rejected by your world. I will not let you be rejected here too. Not while I live." The standoff grew tense. For a moment, it seemed violence was inevitable, but then something happened. The broken ship behind Noor gave a sudden hum. A glow rose from its core, brighter than before. The villagers gasped and stumbled back. "What is that?" Arab glanced at Noor. Its eyes widened in surprise too. The ship's power core had activated on its own, sending waves of energy into the forest. Strange lights danced across the trees. The air vibrated with a sound that seemed almost alive. One villager dropped his stick in terror. This is black magic." He ran, the others following quickly behind him. Within moments, Arab and Noor were alone again, the forest glowing with the ship's strange energy. Arab turned to Noor, his face pale, but his heart steady. "This power, it's calling them, isn't it?" Noor nodded weakly, confirming his worst fear. The signal was stronger now. The hunters from the stars would find them soon, but Arab's choice was already made. He sat beside Noor, placing his hand on its shoulder. "Then let them come. We will face them. Together." Noor looked at him for a long moment. Then slowly, it placed its hand on his chest. Their sign of trust. Despite the fear, despite the danger, their bond had only grown stronger. The village had turned against them. The sky was preparing to deliver enemies. Yet in that moment, Arab felt no regret. He had chosen. And though the road ahead was dark, he would walk it beside Noor. The night was darker than usual, as if the sky itself was holding its breath. The village was restless. People whispered in fear, locking their doors, praying for protection. The strange glow from the forest had shaken them to the core. They were convinced. The alien was a curse and Arab had chosen betrayal. But deep in the forest, the truth was far more terrifying. The broken ship's power core had awakened fully. Its hum grew louder, vibrating in the air, shaking the trees. Uriang sat near it, weak and trembling, while Arab stood protectively beside the alien. He could feel the energy pulsing through the ground like a heartbeat. Arab whispered, "Noor, they are coming, aren't they?" Noor's eyes reflected the glow. It nodded slowly, its hand pointing to the sky. Arab looked up. For a moment, all he saw were stars. But then one by one, those stars began to move. Tiny dots of light cut through the heavens, drawing closer. Ships, dozens of them. Arab's heart pounded. "They've found you." The forest exploded with light as the alien ships broke through the clouds. Their engines roared. Their lights beamed down like searching eyes. The villagers, now gathered outside their homes, screamed in terror. Some fell to the ground, begging God for mercy. Others shouted, "This is Arab's fault. He brought them here." But Arab had no time for their cries. His focus was only on Noor. The alien's body shook with fear, but its eyes never left Arab. In that moment, both of them knew. This was the final test. The first ship landed with a thunderous crash, flattening trees around it. From its doors stepped tall, powerful beings, Noor's own people. Their bodies glowed with strength, their movements sharp and proud. In their hands, they carried weapons that hummed with deadly energy. The leader stepped forward, his voice cold and commanding. The broken one, handed over. Arab's body stiffened. He looked at Noor, then back at the towering aliens. Fear clawed at his heart, but he stood firm. "No, Noor is not your enemy. It has done nothing wrong," the leader sneered. "That creature is weak. It is a stain on our kind. It should have been destroyed long ago." "Move aside, human." But Arib did not move. He spread his arms, blocking Noor. His voice shook, but his words were clear. "If you want to harm Noor, you'll have to go through me." The aliens laughed, their voices sharp like knives. To them, a human was nothing but dust. Yet Noor's eyes widened with awe. No one had ever stood for it before, not on its planet, not anywhere. But Arib, fragile and small compared to these giants, had chosen to protect. The leader raised his weapon. A deadly glow charged at its tip. Noor gasped, reaching toward Arib as if to stop him. But before the shot could fire, the ship's power core roared. A blinding wave of light burst from the wreck, shaking the earth. The aliens staggered back, their weapons flickering. Arib shielded his eyes, but Noor stared at the light in wonder. The power core had recognized Noor. It pulsed in rhythm with the alien's trembling heartbeat. Slowly, it rose into the air, glowing brighter and brighter. The leader shouted in anger, "Destroy it now!" But before they could act, Noor stepped forward. Its weak legs shook, but determination burned in its eyes. It placed its hand on the glowing core. The light wrapped around it like a living veil, filling Noor's broken body with energy. Arib watched in shock. The alien who had always limped, who had always been weak, was now standing taller. The glow fixed its trembling limbs, healing what had been broken for so long. Noor's pale body now shimmered with strength. The leader froze. "Impossible," he whispered. Noor turned, its voice clear and strong for the first time. "I am not broken, I am alive." The other aliens hesitated. For them, Noor was always a mistake, a failure. But now it stood radiant, the power of the core flowing through it. Arib's eyes filled with tears. "Noor," he whispered, "you were never weak." The leader roared in rage, charging forward, but Noor raised its hand. The core pulsed once more, sending a shockwave that threw the soldiers back. Weapons flew from their hands, the ground cracked beneath their feet. The villagers, watching from a distance, fell silent. They had called Noor a curse, but now they saw something different, a savior. The leader tried once again, but Noor stopped him with just a glance. Its voice rang like thunder. "I was rejected by my own. I was feared by yours. But this human, he saw me. He gave me a name. He gave me light. And now I choose my path." The leader collapsed under the weight of Noor's power. The other aliens retreated, their ships lifting back into the sky. Defeated not by violence, but by the strength of one they had abandoned. As silence returned, Noor turned to Arib. Its glow softened. The power core, now fading, sank back into the wreck. Noor's body trembled once more, weakened by the effort. Arib rushed forward, catching it in his arms. "Noor, stay with me." Noor placed its hand gently on Arib's chest, the gesture of trust they had shared since the beginning. Its eyes shone with peace. "Friend," it whispered, the word broken but clear. And then Noor's body dissolved into tiny lights, like fragments of a star. They floated upward, vanishing into the sky. Arib fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. When the villagers approached, they saw only Arib, sitting in the glowing remains of the forest, clutching the mark Noor had left on his hand. A strange symbol, shining faintly. Proof of their bond. The people whispered in awe. Some called him cursed. Others called him chosen. But Arib knew the truth. This was not the end. It was the beginning of a bond between two worlds.